So the king and Haman came to banquet with Esther the queen. Esther 7:1. Within these few words lies the key to your own hidden feast. The king and Haman come to banquet with Esther the queen. Here the king is your waking consciousness, Haman the array of fears and doubts that bend your will, and Esther the one you truly are, imagination made queen. Notice, both king and adversary attend the same feast. They come not to conquer, but to celebrate the banquet you have prepared within. You are told, "Come," and instantly both sovereign thought and rebellious thought assemble. They take their place at your table. They drink the wine of your feelings and dine upon the substance of your assumption. You have but to sit still, to remain in the wonder of your I am, and those who serve and those who seem opposed are drawn to the same inward revelry. The banquet is not in a palace without, but within your secret chamber of desire. Haman's plot to undo you dissolves when he partakes of your royal feast. He becomes powerless, for his life is bound to the queen's will. The king, likewise, finds his sway confirmed, for he realizes that Esther's kingdom is his own source of power. When you dwell confidently in the state of your wish fulfilled, all apparent enemies become your servants, all outer circumstance your subject. The feast is spread, your soul's garments are all laid out. Enter in and taste, so do not hurry. The invitation is timeless. Let unworthy thoughts and worldly anxieties file in, take their seats, and partake of the sweetness you offer. By honoring every thought with the gracious hospitality of your queenly imagination, you transmute every rebel into a loyal steward of your dream. Thus do king and Haman alike acknowledge your sovereignty, and you are established as both queen and realm, unshakable and richly adorned. Here you have three figures in one mind. The king, pure awareness, the I am that rules your world, Haman, the resistant belief or fear in your life, and Esther, your soul's imaginative center. Psychologically, this banquet describes the moment you consciously sit down with both your ruling self and your inner adversary, hospitably acknowledging them before your creative soul. A banquet is nothing more than a deliberately assumed state, a mental table laid with every course you desire. By inviting both the king and Haman to that table, you unify supporting and opposing forces into one scene. In that unified assumption, the tension between desire, Esther, and resistance, Haman, is transmuted into a single creative field. Held firmly in imagination, the feast hardens into fact and orchestrates the collapse of your obstacle before your realized wish. This verse quietly reveals your divine prerogative. You may call both the obstacle and the omnipotent self to dine in your inner court. In doing so, you claim ownership of the entire play, both the promise and the problem, showing that no enemy can hold authority outside your own soul's banquet. The power lies in this sovereign act of invitation. By granting your fear a seat beside your throne, you demonstrate that all experience is yours to host and transform. Begin this evening by choosing a goal that feels simple yet potent, perhaps stronger health, a deeper sense of security, or a fresh spark of creativity. When a moment of stillness arrives, picture a richly set table, its colors and textures inviting you to settle in. See yourself as Esther, poised at the head of the table, while the divine presence known simply as I am takes the role of a gracious king. Notice that your chief worry appears as Haman, yet even this concern is welcomed to the feast. Watch as conversation unfolds, laughter ripples through the room, and your once heavy worry inclines respectfully to the queen's quiet dignity. Hold this scene in your mind until it feels undeniably real, and allow your senses and reasoning mind to step aside so you can live fully in that delicious assumption. Carry this practice into each day, trusting that this single banquet of consciousness will crystallize into new doors opening, obstacles dissolving, and your joyful desire manifesting in the outer world. Reflect on the image from Esther chapter 7, verse 1, not as a distant princess facing a foreign tyrant, but as the sovereign of your own soul, dining with every aspect of your creative being. Embrace this feast of intention, and watch as reality gently rearranges itself around the divine invitation you have extended.